Welcome to the ParcelPedia podcast, the ultimate guide to all things shipping and business services in Frisco, Texas. From U.S. Mail and FedEx to private mailboxes and packing supplies, we've got you covered. Stay tuned for a special discount code to save on your next order. And now, delivering expert tips and insider insights with a smile, here's your host, James Banks, owner of ParcelPedia.
Ever wondered why some documents need a witness and a notary while others just need a stamp? Well, in this episode, we will dive into the essential differences that could affect your paperwork that holds up in legal situations. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Sophia Yvette, co-host and producer, back in the studio today with owner of ParcelPedia, James Banks. James, how have you been?
Hey, Sophia, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm also doing well, and it's great to have you back. Now, I'm excited to explore this one. So, James, notary services are often misunderstood, as you well know, and this clears up a lot of confusion for our listeners. So, let's get into it.
All right.
What is the difference between standard notary and a witness and notary document?
That's a great question, Sophia, and I'm happy to help clear anything up for our viewers, for our listeners, and for our customers. As far as the main difference between a notary stamp or just a standard notary and a witness plus notary is that, just like it sounds, the witness plus notary would need an additional person or persons in the case of it asks for two witnesses. So with a typical standard notary, the person with the document would come before the notary with the document blank. They present an ID to the notary records it, they sign the logbook, then they sign the document in the presence of the notary, and the document is notarized, stamped, and ready to go. With the witness, you would need, typically it's two, but in this case, I'll skip one. You would need a third party. So you have the individual getting the document notarized, you have the notary, and then you have a third party witness. And so what happens is the notary needs to witness the signature. So the person that's getting the document notarized, they have to sign in front of their witness. Their witness then signs, and then the notary then declares that he saw the individual sign as well as the witness sign. So where that can kind of breed some confusion or can cause some incidents is where people will come to the notary with that and their witness portion's already filled out. You know, they'll do it at home with a relative or a neighbor. Say, hey, I need your witness signature on this real quick. And then they'll bring it to the notary. But at that point, the notary cannot do anything with it because the witnesses are not present. So we always, advise that people call ahead if they have any questions, and we can help with that. We do offer one witness outside of the notary between the hours of 12 and 4, Monday through Friday. That way, if you have two witnesses, but you can only find one, we can supplement for you. Or if you just need the one, you can just come on your own and we can help you with that witness as well. But yeah, we can always let you know what it is that's needed. Typically with the ones that need a witness, including the notary, they're more, I guess you could say more important documents or more binding documents such as last will and testaments, medical directives, general or medical power of attorney, things of that nature. But you also have certain documents that actually have what's considered a witness or a notary acknowledgement. So towards the end of the document, there'll be a signature and it will say, sign this in the presence of two witnesses or a notary public. Those are great because you can do them at home if you have two people that are free. But if not, if you just need to come to a notary, then you don't have to worry about, rounding up people or finding available bodies. We can just notarize that for you like a standard notary. So it's very important to look at the verbiage in your document. Sometimes you may think like, oh man, I got to find three people, but you read it and it says or, and you're like, oh, I don't actually, I just need one notary. And here at ParcelPedia, there's always a notary on staff. So you can come anytime, just walk in and you can get something notarized. So it's important to read it, see what you have. But if you have any questions, feel free to call us. Notary is not a legal, position where we can give advice, like legal advice, but we can definitely help you understand the document and definitely make sure that we notarize it correctly for you.
So, James, do you keep your notary witnesses on call?
I try to have at least one with me at all times here at the store. Typically, almost all hours. So there's like an hour and a half window where we don't have another available body. But I have neighbors here. We have neighbors at the plaza. Really, in the state of Texas, witness, what qualifies for a witness is a individual of the age of 14 and above. So a lot of people think of a witness that, they're signing something that's important with money or property. They think, oh, I need another adult. But you can get a teenager as long as they're able to sign their name. It counts in the state of Texas, so that's pretty cool too. And another thing that comes up with the witnesses, a lot of times people think of family members, whether that be a spouse, sibling, child. You got to be careful with that too. Certain documents do not allow the witness to be like a conflict of interest, basically. So if you're doing something like a will and your spouse is named in the will as a beneficiary, they cannot sign as a witness. It's a conflict of interest, and it will negate the will itself. So it's better to be, maybe a neighbor or a stranger. That typically is better, or just use our witness, that we provide. That always helps. But just call, I always advise just to call ahead of time. We can help you. That way you can get things scheduled. And if you may think you need scheduled and we realize, oh, you can just come right now, we'll do it for you. So it's always good to call ahead. You can shoot an email if you don't have the time to call, and we'll be happy to answer any of those questions.
Are notary services pretty popular at ParcelPedia?
Oh, yes. So again, part of the process is recording the applicant or the person getting the notary in the notary log. And the notary log books we have a 576 slot book. We go through those books so fast. Oh my goodness. So typically anytime you get a notary for your first time or you renew your commission, you get a book with the order. I would say the commission's 4 years long. And before I can renew my commission, I'm probably repurchasing 4 to 5 books before that time even comes up. So notary, that's an understatement. It's very popular. I think people have come to realize how effective and efficient it is here. You just walk in, say, hey, I need to get some notarized, come right up to the counter, we get you recorded, get you done, stamped, and you're on your way. It's not you got to come in this window, or schedule an appointment, or our notary's out on lunch, or our notary has the cold. We always have someone here that's a notary, so you don't have to worry about the scheduling. You can just get it done right away.
Now, James, are there certain types of documents that require both a witness and a notary?
Yes. The ones that I know for a fact are the last will and testament. Those, and I believe that does differ state by state, but I know everyone I've ever done has the witnesses as well as the notary. And one way, if you're looking at your own documents and you're trying to figure out, does this one require witnesses and a notary, or witnesses or a notary? Look at what's called the notary acknowledgement. It's going to be the last portion that says, state of Texas, county of whatever, blank typically. Before me, the other side notary, blah, 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 blah. Look through that. If you see before me, the notary appeared, and it's your blank, as well as witness blank and witness blank, then 100% you need to have witnesses and the notary, because the notary needs to write down the names of the person they saw. If it's just acknowledging you as a signer, then more than likely it only needs a notary, and the witnesses can be bypassed.
Wow. Now, James, one final question for you today.
Sure.
What advice do you give to customers preparing documents for out-of-state or international use?
That's a very good question. International use typically works almost just like a domestic. It 9 times out of 10 is dependent on the recipient country. So whoever is asking for the documents, it's always good to check with them and say, hey, it's just a notary, good. Because a lot of times they may say that in their verbiage, oh, we need something notarized. What they mean is notarized and then subsequently apostilled, which is something you have to do at the state down in Austin. So if you don't have that clear, you may think you're good, send your papers overseas, and they're like, reject it. And you're like, no, what happened? So it's always good to ask, when you're sending to a different country, because it's more for what they require, not what we require. But as far as preparation, anything that you have that needs a notary, it's just good to leave it blank. Leave it blank. Okay. All the notary needs to see is you sign the document. So then that way you can take your time to fill out any other blanks that may be there. Don't try to fill anything in, because you may realize, oh, that's incorrect. And now the document may be negated. For out of state, you see a lot of times that notary acknowledgement, state of blank, county of blank. Even if you're buying a home in, say, California, New York, the place of the notary needs to go in that section. So it may feel weird, like, hey, the address is it's a Los Angeles address. I'm doing closing documents. Why are you putting state of Texas, county of Collin? It's like, well, as the notary for the state of Texas, I cannot notarize anything in the state of California. I don't have jurisdiction there. So that does have to say Texas and Collin. because that's where you are currently, physically here getting it notarized. So it can be a little confusing, but that's why it's blank. Leave it blank. Leave it blank for the notary. Let us fill it out. That way you don't have to worry about it. But again, biggest piece of advice, any questions, anything that makes you stop and think about it, just call us, or, call the people that are asking for the documents. It may be the realtor. Typically they know. I mean, they want you to fill it out, so they'll help you fill it out. Right. So just call and ask,
Right.
we're here to help too. So.
Amazing. Now, James,
Yes.
do you have any final words of wisdom for us today on witnesses and notaries, or would you rather forever hold your peace?
No, I'll give a final piece of advice. Final piece of advice for sure with the notary. Remember us as an all-time notary. Like, if you just need to get it done, just show up and we'll help you, because we'll have a notary here. So that's just keep that in mind. Don't worry about scheduling. Don't worry about calling around to see if there's available. No, ParcelPedia and notary should be synonymous. Just walk in.
Well, James, those were some fantastic words of wisdom today for our listeners. We'll catch you next time. Have a great rest of your day.
All right. Thank you. Take care.
Thanks for joining us on the ParcelPedia podcast. Don't forget, mention podcast at our store to snag 10% off select shipping services. Stop by at 8992 Preston Road, Suite 110, Frisco, Texas, or give us a ring at 972-335-1450. We're here to make your shipping a breeze. Until next time, keep shipping and smiling.
I just pulled up Facebook on my phone, and it's my top post. ParcelPedia is live now.